Hello， 大家好呀，欢迎来到微茶，我是 Vicky。我是在华北平原的农村长大的，家门前是一望无际的田野。每到夏天，小麦成熟，麦浪翻滚，仿佛一片金色的海洋。那是一种深深烙印在我记忆中的颜色和气味，是用汗水、土地和阳光共同酿出的乡愁。小时候最热闹的时节莫过于夏收，大人们挥汗如雨，孩子们在地头嬉戏，等着跟在收割机后面捡麦穗。我也会跟在奶奶身后，一边捡麦子，一边听她讲过去的故事。那时候并不觉得这有什么特别，甚至觉得是落后和土气的象征。但直到多年后，当我走出农村，漂泊在城市，又漂洋过海来到英国，我才慢慢意识到，麦田不仅是我童年的背景板，更是我生命的一部分。定居英国后，当我第一次在约克郡的郊外看见无垠的麦田，我竟然鼻头一酸。明明语言不同，风景各异，但那种熟悉的节奏，风吹麦浪，土地呼吸，让我恍惚间仿佛回到了小时候。原来不同的国度也有着相似的土地情怀。田野是寂静的，却也最能传递声音。那声音不是喧嚣，而是岁月的回响，生命的低语。麦田的回声，其实是我们与土地、与家乡、与过往的自己对话。土地不说话，但你能听见它。脚踏土地，心向远方，从乡村的根走向世界的宽。这个全新的系列，我想带你走进我的麦田记忆，走进中英土地之间那些看似不同，实则相通的风景，也为我们即将展开的田野两端系列播下第一粒文化的种子。
When I was a child, summer meant one thing: wheat harvest. In the countryside of northern China, the land stretches out flat and wide, and in June, it glows golden under the sun. Our front yard wasn't a lawn, it was a field, a sea of wheat dancing in the wind. I remember walking barefoot along the dry dirt path, following my grandmother to see the edge of the field. We would collect leftover wheat grains after the harvesters had passed. The sun was hot, the earth was warm, and our hands were always dusty. At the time, I didn't think much of it. It was just life, simple, repetitive, and ordinary. But sometimes, it's not until we leave something behind that we understand its value. Last year, I moved to the UK with my British husband. One morning in late October, we drove through the countryside. As we turned a corner, I saw something that made my heart skip a beat. Fields of wheat, green and endless. For a moment, I couldn't breathe. It wasn't China, and yet it was. Different language, different machines, but the same rhythm of life. At that moment, I realized something. Wheat fields have their own kind of language. They speak not with words, but with wind and time. They carry the stories of people who work with the land, who understand patience, who live with the seasons. In both China and the UK, wheat connects people to their roots. In my hometown, wheat is not just food. It's a symbol of hard work, family, and tradition. In England, I'm learning that wheat also represents heritage and rural pride. The bread on the table, the thatched roofs, the old stone barns, all tell stories that began in the fields. And yet, there are differences too. In China, most farmers still work small plots of land, often by hand. Farming is backbreaking, often undervalued, while in the UK, farms are bigger, so much bigger, more mechanized, and in many cases, supported by government policies. But even here, farming is far from easy. Weather, market prices, and environmental rules make every season a gamble. These fields on both sides of the world have taught me that farming is not just about food. It's about culture, about identity, about how we see the land, and how we see ourselves. As someone who grew up in a Chinese village and now lives in an English countryside, I stand between two kinds of rural life. Sometimes I feel like I'm walking between two rows of wheat, one from my past, one from my present. Both golden, both waving in the wind, both calling me home. Next time, I want to take you deeper into one story that made me rethink everything I thought I knew about farming. It's not a documentary, it's not a traditional farming show. It's a series called Clarkson's Farm, hosted by a British celebrity who knew nothing about farming but ended up learning more than he ever imagined. And through him, I learned too. So why not follow me? See you next time.